Good evening. My name is Shelby McNutt, and I will be your MC this evening for this unique and exciting Crystal Apple Awards ceremony presented by the Garden City Area Chamber of Commerce. With the safety of our guests and sponsors in mind, we are coming to you virtually this evening from Garden City High School. For the past 25 years, this program has grown through the support of community sponsors, many of whom have been with us from the very start of this program. I feel privileged that I was a Crystal Apple teacher back in 1996, the second year of its existence. This is an exciting and rewarding experience for our teachers, and as we give them recognition throughout this evening, we ask that you too let them know how grateful you are for your continued support. Every day, we place a huge responsibility on our educators to provide our community with the next generation of future leaders and a strong workforce. Teachers, you instill the confidence in your students that they can attain anything they desire in their lives. Imagine our next generation inspired by you, daring them to dream, and that truly anything is possible and everything is achievable. To our 6 finalists, we invite you to sit back and relax, as this is your night, a night of celebration. We honor you and thank you for what you do for our students and our community. At this time, please stand as we join the Garden City High School Modern Show Choir in the singing of our national anthem.
Hey, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave, home of the brave.
I would now like to invite Pastor Mike Hageman of Trinity Lutheran Church to deliver tonight's invocation.
Blessings in the Lord. Welcome to our celebration of the Crystal Apple Award, who will be honoring tonight 6 outstanding teachers in our community. And it does me great pleasure to be able to begin with an invocation. My name is Michael Hageman. I am the pastor of Trinity Lutheran Church here in Garden City. Please pray with me. Almighty God, Heavenly Father, without your help, our labor is useless, and without your light, our search for greater knowledge and understanding is in vain. Guide, we pray, and invigorate the study and teaching at our schools here in Finney County by our students and by the work of our teachers. We thank you especially today for the faithfulness and the honorable work of the teachers of this community, in this county. And we ask you, Lord, that you would continue to guide and strengthen them during this time as each day presents itself with a brand new challenge. We especially thank you also for our 6 teachers who are finalists for the Crystal Apple Award. We thank you, O Lord, for their hard work and their determination to change the lives of others through their honorable actions. May they always be an encouragement to other faculty members, to other students, to other teachers, and to our community as they have applied themselves with ready diligence to the tasks that have been given to them. May your blessing reside upon them and all others who follow as they change our community, as they change our state, as they change this nation for your good pleasure. We pray this through your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen. Thank you.
We wouldn't have the opportunity to honor our teachers as we do without the generous support of our Crystal Apple sponsors. These are the businesses and community members that help us make this event a success each year. Our presenting sponsor is Boers Law, PA. Our technology sponsor is Cox Communications. Our video sponsor is Buckman Best Behaviors. Our gold sponsors are Commerce Bank, Fry Eye Associates, Hutton, and Wheatland Broadband. Our bronze sponsors, American State Bank, the Dairy Farmers of America, the Finney County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Golden Plains Credit Union, Lewis Hooper and Dick LLC, and Reeve Cattle Company. Our Crystal sponsors are American Implement, the Garden City Public Schools Foundation, and Gibson, Mancini, Carmichael, and Nelson. Our Friend of Education donors is Shepner's Water Conditioning. Thank you to our sponsors for their continued support of the Crystal Apple program.
Good evening, Garden City, and welcome to the Crystal Apple Awards. I'm glad to be joining you tonight. So I want to congratulate the 6 finalists and say how honored I am to be just sharing a few minutes with you tonight. Say thank you for your service to the teaching profession, especially in a great city like Garden City. I love this event, and I so look forward to attending it every year. As you know, this year we can't do that because of a little virus named COVID, but I'm extremely proud that they're still doing this event virtually and that I get to play a small part in it. This year's been like no other, and it's tested all of you here tonight that are educators. And I just want to again express my deep appreciation for the work that you've done since we closed in March and been in hybrid, in-person, and remote situations ever since then. You've been just the rock that students and families have needed, and tonight we're going to celebrate that with you. So congratulations again to the 6 finalists. You are well deserving of this extremely, extremely great award, the Crystal Apple. So thank you again. I look forward to seeing the ceremonies.
Congratulations to the Garden City Chamber of Commerce and the community of Garden City on this being the 25th Annual Crystal Apple Awards. I know this year has been a challenging one, but thank you to all the educators for all you are doing to adapt during this time and to educate our kids. No more important person in kids' lives than our teachers, and I'm thankful for the jobs that you're doing. Congratulations to all 6 finalists tonight. Best of luck to each of you, and it's an honor to be part of tonight's event.
Commerce Bank and our staff would like to say congratulations to the nominees and finalists for the Crystal Apple Award. We're so appreciative of the time and effort that you spend with the students in our community. Thank you and great job for everything that you do for us, our families, and the community.
Congratulations to all of the winners. I think this year, more so than any, we realize the value of great teachers and want to thank you for everything that you do, not only today, but every day, and not only this year, but every year. Thank you again from the CVB, and congratulations.
Crystal Apple Awards are an opportunity to thank all of our teachers for their hard work and dedication to ensuring our students' success during the past year.
This evening, we at Fry Eye Associates are excited to recognize and congratulate all of the nominees and finalists for the Crystal Apple Award.
Good evening. Golden Plains Credit Union is proud to be a sponsor for the Crystal Apple Awards. We'd like to congratulate each of you for becoming a finalist for the 2020 Crystal Apple Award. We'd also like to take this opportunity to thank you for doing an extraordinary job educating the children in our community. Good luck.
On behalf of us here at Hutton, I'd like to say congratulations to all this year's finalists for the Crystal Apple Award. I'd also like to say thank you. Thank you for your dedication to our students and our community. So congratulations and good luck.
Wheatland Electric would like to congratulate all of the Crystal Apple Award finalists. We're proud of you and we appreciate all that you do.
I'm Roy Cessna.
And I'm Melinda Hitz.
And we're with the Garden City Public Schools Foundation. And on behalf of the Garden City Public Schools Foundation, we'd like to congratulate you as being named a finalist for the 2020 Crystal Apple Teacher Awards. Your outstanding career and achievements have got you to this point, and we just want to congratulate you on getting to this point for being named a Crystal Apple finalist and hopefully a 2020 Crystal Apple teacher. So again, on behalf of Garden City Public Schools Foundation, we want to congratulate you.
We're all very proud of you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations and good luck to the 6 well-deserving Crystal Apple finalists. They're great representatives of all the amazing teachers in USD 457.
On behalf of the USD 457 Board of Education, I'm Laura Bors, President, and this is Alex Wallace, Vice President.
And we would like to congratulate the 6 finalists for the 25th Crystal Apple Award.
You guys have been chosen the best of the best. You've been extraordinary in extraordinary times. I think I join all of Finney County and say congratulations and thank you and stay safe.
I'm State Representative John Wheaton. I wish I could meet with you personally and speak with you, but we are, after all, living in a virtual world. I just want to take this moment to extend my congratulations to the finalists of the 2 USD 457 2020 Crystal Apple Award. You've all demonstrated your excellence in achieving your finest skills in teaching. I'm not going to wish the best man or woman to win because I think you're all excellent and I appreciate what you're doing for our community, particularly in this very difficult time. Good luck to each of you and thanks again for your service.
Congratulations to each of you on your Crystal Apple Award. For the past 25 years, this award has symbolized the best in the education profession has to offer. You have become a member of a very distinct group. We at the City of Garden City are proud of your accomplishment and offer you sincere thanks.
Good evening. I'm Micah Bunch, President of the Garden City Area Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Roy Cessna, the Chair of the Crystal Apple Program.
For over 25 years, the Chamber has been proud to organize and host the Crystal Apple Program in Finney County. Tonight, we are excited to honor and recognize our 6 amazing Crystal Apple finalists. Congratulations, teachers, on all your achievements. Sit back, relax, and we invite you to enjoy your night. Thank you for all you do for our community and for our students in Finney County.
As previously mentioned, this year's presenting sponsor is Bors Law. I would now like to invite Laura Blake Bors to provide her insight on the Crystal Apple Awards and the dedication of our local teachers. Laura?
Thank you, Shelby. For 25 years, the Garden City Area Chamber of Commerce has been celebrating local educators with the Crystal Apple Awards. Bors Law has been honored to be the presenting sponsor for the last 7 years. While this year's ceremony looks a little different, its meaning is certainly not lost on all those who have made it possible. Now, usually at this point of my speech, I'm introducing the fancy schmancy people who have graciously agreed to sit at my table. I do want to thank Dr. Randy Watson, our Commissioner of Education, who planned to be here this evening. I know that this is a very important evening for him as well, and he makes the trip out here to recognize our educators. I appreciate how he makes it a point to introduce himself to each of the 6 finalists when he arrives and speaks with each one. Even in this time of uncertainty, he understood just how much his presence meant to all of us and was willing to make the trip. Dr. Watson, I have a feeling you're watching with just as much anticipation as our teachers here this evening. Thank you for your support of our teachers here this evening, and good luck with keeping our schools open across the state. Senator Dahl, Representatives Jennings and Wheeler are also 3 individuals who regularly attend our in-person event. Their support of our educators has been unwavering. I know that they each had hard-fought, uncontested general election races and will be back in Topeka representing us in the next legislative session. Good luck, gentlemen, in your endeavor to make common sense prevail there. The next group of individuals who I normally address are the ones I truly miss here, and I might get a little emotional at their lack of attendance here this evening, but I still want to recognize them. For those of you watching, if you see them around town sometime, please make sure to stop them and recognize them in some way. They are the support system of our 6 finalists. They are the ones who have to put up with all the late nights, weekends, and incessant talking about whatever new idea they have for their classroom or next lesson plan. To those who could not be here to hold their teachers up tonight as they wait for the results, I thank you for your contribution to the education of Finney County kids. Without you, these 6 finalists would not be able to do all that they have been able to accomplish. Since March, the business community and families have gotten a glimpse into the lives of teachers when the world's longest spring break commenced and we had continuous learning. Now with schools in hybrid or remote, we are in even greater flux with our kids, and teachers, students, and parents are needing to be more flexible and adaptable with each new day. Definitely a soft skill that business leaders were hoping that students would come out with when they graduated. Although I think we all could have done it without the global pandemic. But I do have a very serious question for all of you here tonight. What happens when 4 buffalo, a cougar, and a hawk show up in an auditorium? One buffalo claims that anyone can be taught math by dad jokes and positive comments. He might be found using avid strategies and making math practical to students by trying to figure out the weather for Finney County, the traffic patterns on Highway 50, or even preparing taxes. Yet, I am positive that not everyone can be taught math. There is a reason I went to law school. I still believe that Al-Jibra is a terror group on the CIA watch list. Moms can tell dad jokes too. Isn't that right, Mr. Bijou? The next buffalo, Mr. Dubrinsky, has opened new doors for the district and has taken them to places that no one had thought possible with his STEM endeavors. At times, it may seem that the district is moving as slowly as the turtle on the skateboard in his poster in his classroom, making progress no matter how slowly, but with the innovations he has provided and spawned an entirely new robotics program throughout the district and even the community. A new wave of engineers and creative thinkers have been made. But to keep them here may take the force of a hawk. Ms. Bates Aronson, who sees herself as teaching community members, the cashiers at Dillon's, the CNA in the delivery room, the doctors and leaders of the community. And not just those who she has physically in her classroom. Her book talks lead to dinner discussions, which in turn leads to parents seeking out new books to add to their own collections. Mrs. Schneider, our third Buffalo that we have, sees movement before learning as critical and is very much practical in her teaching. Getting students to think about tuition, insurance, rent, cell phone plans, and such are invaluable skills to be teaching. The fourth Buffalo, Mrs. Hensley, didn't always see herself as a teacher, but majoring in agri-science education, she quickly fell in love with her vocation. She is proud to see her students grow and excel as they compete in FFA and 4-H competitions. And finally, the Cougar, Mrs. Denniston, sees it important to make third graders see the relevance of their dreams and ambitions. The baker to try out their skills at the Dillon's Bakery. The student interested in art therapy, helping with the kindergarten class as an art aide. But overwhelmingly, what I see in this auditorium are 6 individuals dedicated to serving their students, their schools, and their community to make the world a better place. I know that may sound trite, rather naive, or innocent, but throughout their applications, they all see the world in a much better way than many of us do today. I hope we can all see it the way these 4 Buffalo, Hawk, and Cougar do. The children they are helping to cultivate, and dare I say raise, will one day take over the world. And I am looking forward to the things those soon-to-be adults will be able to do. You have all gone through the harrowing process that Mr. McNutt will soon be outlining. You are all probably also going through this in the most unique time that this award has ever been given. This award is distinctive as it is, I believe, the only one given by a Chamber of Commerce in the state of Kansas. It is entirely business-driven. Drs. Carlin and Myers, the USD 363 and 457 boards of education have no say as to who the winners are tonight. Only the care committee, the individuals from chamber member businesses, get to have that say. I don't even get to have a say, and I don't know who's winning tonight. I know you cannot look around you right now and literally see the business community around you, but please know that we are here. We are there in your classroom with you, supporting you every day. Unless we're remote, and then, well, you know. And we're maintaining at our social distance, at least 6 feet apart. Teachers, the businesses of the Garden City Area Chamber of Commerce have your back. We wish you well. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments. And thank you for all that you do to educate the children of Finney County. To the 6 here tonight, best of luck.
Thank you, Laura. Joining us virtually this evening are several distinguished guests and board members. Dr. Randy Watson, Kansas Commissioner of Education, Kansas School Board of Education member Gene Clifford, Garden City USD 457 Board of Education members, also representing Garden City USD 457, Dr. Steve Carlin, Superintendent, Heath Hogan, our Deputy Superintendent, Glenda LeBarbara, Assistant Superintendent, KJ Knoll, Financial Officer, and Mr. Steve Nordby, Principal of Garden City High School. It is now my honor to introduce our 6 finalists for tonight's Crystal Apple Awards. Alana Bates from Horace Good Middle School, Diana Denniston from Jenny Wilson Elementary School, Yuri Drabinski from Garden City High School, Melissa Hensley from Garden City High School, Mr. Bijou from Garden City High School, Jane Snyder from Garden City High School. As previously stated, this marks the 25th year of the Crystal Apple Awards program. To date, we have recognized 76 outstanding educators from Finney County. This group of teachers represents those that continually go above and beyond in their commitment to providing the best education for their students. So what process did these 6 people have to go for? Well, first off, they had to be nominated by a community member, by a parent, maybe another teacher, or a student. Once they were nominated, they then had to fill out an application, and the application then went to a blind read by a panel that were evaluating each one of our teachers. From there, the field was narrowed down to personal interviews. Now, these interviews were conducted, and from that, we narrowed down to the 6 on the stage with me this evening, and they went through some classroom observations. I would like to add that we have a record here of 158 total applications were received this year. As you see, this is a very meticulous process and takes dedication from the following community members who served on the 3 different selection committees. Lisa Knoll from the Kansas Department of Transportation, Bradley Kolowski from Edward Jones Investments, Deb Euler from Finney County United Way, Reed Petty, a representative for the office of Senator Jerry Moran, Brenda Reeve from Reeve Cattle Company, Debbie Reynolds from Spirit of the Plains CASA, Beth Tedrow, a retired educator at Garden City Community College, and Debbie Young from Golden Plains Credit Union. We would also like to recognize the chair of the Crystal Apple Committee for the 17th year, Mr. Roy Cessna. The Crystal Apple program could not happen without the loyalty and dedication of these volunteers. We thank them for their contribution to the program. We would now like to highlight each of our 6 finalists by taking you inside their classrooms and hearing them talk about what drives them to be the outstanding educators that they are.
I'm Elena Bates. I am an 8th grade English teacher, and I'm also the head Science Olympiad coach at Horace Good Middle School. I've known my whole life I was going to teach. My dad was telling me that when I was 2, the school bus would go by and I would go to the window and wave and say, I can't wait till I get to go. And my first day of kindergarten, I came home and I just knew. And I told my dad, I'm going to be a teacher, but I think I'm going to be a rock star first. And bless my parents, they both said, okay, whatever you want. So school was always my touchstone and where I came back to. I think it started with my parents, especially my mom. A lot of times I feel like learning is made to be a chore, and it never was in our house. It was something we did that was fun. And it was never, here, let's do this worksheet or let's do this school prep. It was, let's go for a walk, and whatever we found, turtles, tortoises, frogs, snakes, whatever it was, she managed to find a resource that we could learn more. So books were always a big deal in our house, and learning and discussing and thinking. Helping those kids find literature and books that's going to make them excited for their life. Not all of them are going to leave school and be novel readers, but all of them are going to leave school and need to be some sort of a reader. So if that's helping a student realize, oh, this is why the driver's handbook is important. Or, oh, I can use this when I start this and doing this in my life, that's what gets me up. And just 14-year-olds are awesome. They're what gets me up every day because I know I'm going to have lots of laughs at work. Every year I think I can't possibly love this group as much as I loved the one before. And every year I'm wrong, which is wonderful. And watching them as they become engaged. Right now we just started our study of the Holocaust. And watching these 72 souls as they learn about this atrocity in our history. And they ask questions and they want to know more and they want to make sure that they're the generation that makes sure it never happens with again. The commitment to humanity and to being the best people they can be with each group that comes through keeps me going. I get asked this a lot, and my answer changes because they're all the most rewarding part. But for me, it's seeing a student grow into their own and become part of the community as an adult, getting to support the businesses that they start, or seeing them when they become nurses or doctors or other teachers, and watching them grow into these wonderful people that I got to see the seeds planted of. This is insane. This is the biggest honor, and the list of other teachers who have been nominated and are finalists, I am so honored to be on the list with them. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. It's been a heck of a ride.
My name is Diana Denniston. I'm a third grade teacher, and this year I'm actually teaching for the district as a remote teacher. So I'm housed at Florence Wilson, but my students are enrolled at Georgia Matthews. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done. And I will say that over and over again to anybody that'll listen. So the principal and the administrator says we're just kind of building a plane as we go. And that is the truth. It's been a super challenging responsibility. And it's a responsibility for everybody, the student, the parent, and myself as the educator, any of us that are doing remote, to make it quality and purposeful and intentional, and that the kids are actually learning is a huge challenge. And there's a lot of distractions on the family side of the fence too, with their world. They're learning at home. It takes a lot of effort and responsibility from everybody. So yeah, it's been a huge challenge, but a lot of resources out there. The district is doing everything they can. We're doing a book study on remote teaching. We collaborate with each other, and we're constantly asking questions and getting technology help, and everybody wants to help us do a good job. Being with kids every day, that's the best part about teaching. You're not only teaching them, but you're also whatever it is they need. So you may be needing to get them through a depression or a sad time in their life. You may need to be a nurse to them. I would say this over and over again. And because I've taught for so long, I've actually had this happen more than once. But when a former student who is now a parent comes to you and says, I want my son or daughter to have you as their teacher, that is just very humbling, and it just gives me a great sense of pride that they think that much of me, that they would want me to be a teacher for their children. Thank you. Whoever nominated me, I just really appreciate their thinking that I deserve it. It's humbling. It's an opportunity. I'm glad to tell people about teachers and what teachers do and support education. But to be recognized by Crystal Apple is the cherry on top. It's just so special and such a rewarding thing just to be in the mix.
My name is Yuri Drabinski. I teach Algebra 2, Engineering and Robotics at Garden City High School. When I was younger, I liked to learn about different things, make things, and I thought teaching is one of those career fields where I could learn a lot of different things about many different areas. I think it's one of the few career fields where you're interested in this, you can look up that thing. So there's a lot of different things to learn, and that's what kind of drew me into doing it. When I thought about, as I got older, I thought about like, what do I want to do? That's something I kind of kept coming back to. My proudest moment as a teacher, one that really sticks out, was a couple of years ago. We were part of a competition put on by Samsung that was called Solve for Tomorrow. You come up with a solution to a community problem, and the problem that my students and I were working on was creating a smart watering system, and the idea was to be able to save and conserve water in southwest Kansas. So we created a system that could monitor the soil, it could tell you different factors about plant growth, and it would stream that data to the internet. But it was a video that we put together along with the system, and then on the very last day Everything was edited, everything was ready to submit. Everybody who was part of this project, we have a picture of this somewhere on social media, but everybody who was part of the project had their hand on the click to submit button, and then they all submitted at the same time. And that was 7 weeks of just very hard work kind of all coming together, and the result was pretty amazing. Some of the programs that I've been part of with robotics and engineering, and even just trying to make math more relevant, is I find that challenging, but challenging in a way of like, how can I make this better? How can I connect with my students better? How can I make what I teach better? I want to see Southwest Kansas grow as a community in terms of STEM. I want kids from Southwest Kansas and from Garden City to have that opportunity to say, hey, I tried engineering and I tried robotics, and I am more prepared to go to high school, or I'm more prepared to enter a career field where I have to do this, or at least I'm exposed to this. So that's what kind of drives me and motivates me and keeps me in Garden City. It's humbling and it's an honor to be one of the finalists. Looking at the list, some friends and coworkers I know that are amazing teachers, and especially a year like this year with the pandemic going on, there's a lot of things that we had to change in education, and I think that's what's going to stick out in the future is that education, I think, is going to be different in general, and just being part of this through this process is a pretty honorable and humble experience.
I am Melissa Hensley, and I work at Garden City High School as the agri-science teacher, and I am the assistant FFA advisor. I have been teaching at Garden City High School for 13 years. My students are what really keeps me in the classroom and keep inspiring me to be a teacher. I love my kids, I love my students, and I look forward to going to class, going to school every day and seeing them. The shutdown when we were over COVID, when we had continuous learning, it was so hard because I knew they were out there and I knew they were going through things, and they maybe needed to talk or needed a hug, and I couldn't do that because we couldn't see them, and it was just very difficult. So I'm definitely staying in the classroom because of my kids. It'll sound cliche, but my students definitely are the most rewarding part of my job. I love my students, and I've gotten wedding invitations from previous students before, and that is just the most amazing thing. That you get graduation invites, but a wedding invite, that is, they've been out of college and they've been out a few years and they still remembered to invite me, and that's really cool, because then I can see what they've done and how they've grown and watch them start their life and start their family. My proudest moment as a teacher professionally would be when I received my national board certification. That was a very tough process to go through, and it really made me look at how I teach and look at my teaching strategies, and it developed me into a much better teacher, I feel. My personal proudest moment would be when I get those wedding invitations from those students, because I love to see them afterwards and starting their lives. The students really motivate me to keep going and keep teaching. Sometimes, what would you do if you weren't a teacher? And I just don't know. I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't teaching. I am thrilled to be named a 2020 Crystal Apple finalist, because this is just such a great honor. And I know somebody out there nominated me and thought that I could do this, and that's just really, it's very special to me that somebody thinks this highly of me.
My name is Biju Clerical. I teach mathematics at Garden City High School. The Magic Mondays, it's worked like, it's been 3 years maybe in my classroom. I didn't regulate it that well, but last couple of years I just regulated. Every Monday I do magics. There are a couple of reasons for that. The Mondays are the students come back to school building with a weekend, and they are really not that well motivated as when you see on Wednesday or Thursday or maybe Tuesday. The first day, oh, this is after the weekend, something like that. So I think, hey, how do I encourage them? How do I give some little energy to that? So magics, the tricks, that helps them. That I thought and I observed that gives them some energy towards mathematics. That's one thing. The second one is I always want to be make math popular, something like a slogan, make math popular. And when you do some tricks, there is, even though you're adult, there is a kid in your mind. I enjoy as well as my students enjoy. So that's why I came up with this idea, let's do a magic and that thinks more about mathematics. How you do that? And there are 30 kids in the classroom and I do some tricks. They start with all different numbers and I do some math work and I finally bring them to the same number and without knowing them. So there are so many tricks like that and they get excited. They said, how did you do that? I enjoy that. Then their feedback and this, right? So, I still remember that the whole class is going, how do you do that? So it's like, hey, this is the beauty of mathematics. You just observe the pattern, do some tricks, you can do it. And the feedback, that's what keep going. And then I thought, oh, this is working. I'm going to do that. Then from last 3 semesters, I mandated every Monday, it's Magic Monday. So something like that. Then I started wearing the gown and cap and a magic wand. So it's, some of them enjoy that. So I did the magics once in a while. It's not an everyday day. But then I noticed and I observed, majority of them are enjoying it. So why don't you make it like something like? So we have Magic Monday, Mindset Wednesdays, Tactical Tuesdays, So we have different things on there. Puzzle days, something like that. Whoa, wow, it's amazing. I looked at all the teachers being in finalists and those who won the Crystal Apple. I said, wow, that's a great group. Now I have an opportunity to be in that group. Wow, that's amazing. And I feel proud of that one. Okay.
My name is Jane Schneider, and I teach at Garden City High School. I've taught there for a number of years, and I teach some PE classes, and I also teach in the Health Science Academy, so I'm in charge of the health science classes there. I really think that I just kind of was built for it. I think that everything kind of led me to teaching and to teaching here in Garden City. But the people that I work with are really good teachers, and so they always seem to be kind of either one step ahead or trying something new. And that is that when I see somebody climb that mountain, it makes it easier for me to want to climb that mountain too. And I like the fact that they're really good at it, and they're really good about helping you walk that path and not make the same mistakes they made, or if you make a mistake, they always try to help you out of it. And so trying new stuff, and they always seem to try new stuff, so it makes it easier to try. We were working on a lab report in my class, and we talked about how they had to sign the bottom of the lab report, and they had to admit that it was all their work and they didn't copy off of anybody else. And I remember when I was explaining it to them, I care more about your honesty than I do about your lab report. The people that live next door to us now, Chris was a student of ours in the high school, and I remember thinking, I'm so glad he lived there. He was really ornery, but he's a great neighbor because he's honest and he's forthright. He helps watch our property and looks out for us, loves our dogs just like we do. So I really appreciate all of that. One thing I love is when I've taught long enough that I now have children of children that I had. And so that is really fun to have them in class and then get to brag about them to their parents. And sometimes their parents and I had different kinds of communications, or their parents were pretty ornery. So it's kind of fun to talk to them about that. I can usually get them out of a little bit of trouble once in a while. It's pretty humbling. I've been here, I've taught here, this will be 23 years for me teaching in this district. It's something that has kind of ebbed and flowed, but it is some of the people that I know that have gotten this award, they're really good friends of mine. It's just really, like I said, humbling that to even be here, and especially with the people that I teach with and see every day. They're really good, and told him, I wouldn't mind losing to you. I hate to admit that, but it's really true. It's a great profession. It's a really hard row to hoe, but once you get here, if you're really meant to do it and you love it, it's been a joy. These last years they all have gone so fast, and you always improve every year. If you try to find just one thing to improve on every year, you do get better every year, and that's kind of fun too. The kids change, but they really don't change that much, and they're still as fun as they were when I first started.
A special thank you to Chamber Ambassador Whitney Buckman of Buckman's Best Behaviors, who produced the special teacher highlight videos. Thank you, Whitney. Via video, I would like to invite the principals representing our teachers to provide a few remarks about our Crystal Apple finalist teachers.
I'm honored to have this opportunity to introduce to you Alana Bates, or as we call her, Lainey, as one of the Crystal Apple finalists. I also want to take this moment to congratulate all of the Crystal Apple nominees. When the American Education Week comes around each year, we are privileged to get a glimpse into some of Finney County's best educators. And I do mean a glimpse, as each one of these teachers are very humble and don't like to toot their own horn. This is why I am happy to have Lainey get recognized for a second time as a finalist. The last time Lainey was a finalist, her list of accomplishments was long. To many teachers, it would be fulfilling to continue to do these things that earned you a spot in the Crystal Apple ceremony. Lainey isn't one of those people who will ever settle with continuing down the same path. She is a trailblazer who is showing her daughter, Brooksley, that you can do anything you want as long as you go outside of your comfort zone and push yourself to new limits. Those that know Lainey already are aware of her love of teaching kids of all ages. She has a gift of creating lessons that allow her students to see themselves in lessons being taught. Lainey understands the value of relationships in her classroom, evident by the many former students that find themselves reaching out to her through social media or stopping by her school. Those students all have one thing in common from their time in Lainey's classroom. They found their joy in life with the help from one of their favorite teachers. Lainey has accomplished many things since the last time we were here celebrating her. Two major accomplishments are grants. One was to help the Science Olympiad program that she pioneered at Horace Good. This growing program was a regional champion last spring and unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to attend state competition due to the COVID shutdown. Her most recent award was being chosen for a $2,000 grant for assisting her classroom library. Just walking into her classroom, one will quickly see that Lainey's passion is for reading and also instilling that same passion into her students. 12 to 13 years ago, Lainey took a chance on A.P. Britt Middle School in a community that celebrates its teachers. And because of this, her life dedicated to the teaching profession has had the opportunity to reward her twice as a Crystal Apple finalist. But for Lainey, it would be safe to say that the reward is the joy she sees each year on different faces in her classroom finding their passion. Congratulations to you, Lainey, and the other very worthy candidates. You are some of Finney County's best and brightest, and I've been honored to introduce Lainey to you. Thank you.
Good evening. It is with great honor and pleasure that I introduce to you Diana Denniston, finalist for Crystal Apple from Jenny Wilson Elementary. Diana lives right down the road in Scott City, Kansas, where she began her teaching career, and in 2006 moved that career to Garden City. She has dedicated 38 years of her life to educating our children. If there's one thing I want you to take away tonight about Diana Denniston, is her heart for service. Her service to her community and to USD 457 is outstanding, and she would do anything for anyone in need. But what I want to focus on is her service to and with her students. There's no doubt that she doesn't teach her standards. Look at all of her students' data and have them prepared for the next level. But she will individualize instruction. She's had a student that has a dream of being a baker, and she's made it where he could go to Dillon's and spend some time in the bakery. She's got a future artist that she arranged to do some volunteering in an art class. She instills a sense of service into her students. Her students have done numerous projects, including recycling, landscaping around the school, adopting soldiers to write to, adopting kitties and doing fundraisers for the Humane Society, and even pulling weeds at the YMCA. My favorite is when they go and read and play games with the Golden residents at the ranch. Diana has always said that if she can inspire her students to work, grow in knowledge, and strengthen their character, then she has done what God has asked her to do. Well, Diana, you have done just that, my dear. On behalf of the staff, the students, and the parents of Jenny Wilson Elementary, we congratulate you on being a finalist for the Crystal Apple, an honor you deserve over and over. Thank you.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce Yuri Drabinski, Crystal Apple finalist from the Trades Academy at Garden City High School. Mr. Drabinski is from Skokie, Illinois, and has taught algebra, engineering, and robotics in Garden City for 9 years. He is the founder of the USD 457 robotics program, which started for several years at Garden City High School and has spread into elementary and middle schools throughout the district. He continues to lead the district-wide robotics program and is a Girls in Engineering and Robotics Community Program organizer. In addition to all these things, I really appreciate that Yuri is not a status quo person. He is always looking at ways to improve and expand opportunities for his students. He has secured funding at the national all the way down to the local level and has spent hundreds of hours of his own time in his quest to serve students. It is so awesome that he and his wife have settled in Garden City from afar and have created this niche for a segment of our district-wide student population that was never there before. He is truly an asset to our school and community. On behalf of the staff and students at Garden City High School, we congratulate Mr. Drabinski on this much-deserved honor. Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce Melissa Hensley, Crystal Apple finalist from the Trades Academy at Garden City High School. Mrs. Hensley is from West Branch, Michigan, and has taught wildlife and natural resources, animal and meat science, plant and soil science, intro to ag science, environmental science, agribusiness management, intro to manufacturing, and freshman success classes in Garden City for 13 years. She has sponsored our Future Farmers of America and Trap Club and has served in the Kansas Association of Agriculture Educators and on the Community Daycare Board of Directors. In addition to all of these things, I appreciate the relationships that Melissa forms with her students and her can-do attitude. She has become an active Twitter user, and it is neat to observe interactions between her and her students on Twitter. It is evident that many of them consider her as more than just a teacher. I don't know that anyone has taught more preps than Melissa, and she continues to do it because she wants to provide her students with a comprehensive ag education. Oh, and her yearly plant sale has become an event in Garden City every spring. It takes a lot of dedication and personal time to be Melissa. On behalf of the staff and students at Garden City High School, we congratulate Mrs. Hensley on this much-deserved honor. Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce Bijou Kalarikiao, Crystal Apple finalist from the Health Academy at Garden City High School. Mr. Bijou is from India and has taught algebra, trigonometry, advanced math applications, and calculus in Garden City for 15 years, as well as 5 years in another district. He has coached the math relays team and sponsored the yoga club while also serving on the GCHS building leadership team and as a new teacher mentor. In addition to all these things, I appreciate Bijou's sense of humor and his consistently positive personality. It just doesn't seem like Bijou ever has a bad day. Whether he is dressing as a magician on Math Magic Mondays to make math more fun for his students, dancing during a pep assembly, leading a yoga session, or educating staff and student about his Indian traditions, Bijou just makes GCHS a more enjoyable place to work and learn. He advocated for several years to increase upper-level math openings for GCHS students, and he succeeded. He now teaches a popular dual-credit calculus class for Garden City High School. In his free time in the summer, he loves to visit national parks all over the United States with his family. On behalf of the students and staff at Garden City High School, we congratulate Mr. Bijou on this much-deserved honor. Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce Jane Schneider, Crystal Apple finalist from the Health Academy at Garden City High School. Mrs. Schneider is from the sprawling metropolis of Fall River, Kansas, and has taught physical education and health science classes, including health career investigations, health science rotations, health, and tumbling in Garden City for 23 years. For many years, she has sponsored the senior class and the Health Occupations Student Association, and has also coached swimming and cheerleading at Garden City High School. She has served as the physical education department leader and lead teacher in the Health Academy. In addition to all of these things, I really appreciate the positivity and optimism that Jane provides to our school. Her daily presence is like a shot of vitamin C for the students and staff. Whether it is a well-timed sticky note of encouragement at your door, hot apple cider in the workroom, scones during a PLC meeting, a soda pop placed on your desk, a thoughtful positive referral, a tweet, a pre-COVID cookout at her house, or whatever, Jane makes GCHS a better place. Quite simply, every school needs a Jane Schneider. On behalf of the staff and students at Garden City High School, we congratulate Mrs. Schneider on this much-deserved honor. Thank you.
Well, the time is finally here for us to announce the 2020 Crystal Apple recipients. We will have two separate awards presentations. Our first presentation will be the announcement of the 3 Crystal Apple finalists, and the second presentation will recognize the 3 Crystal Apple teachers for 2020. Each Crystal Apple finalist will receive a $250 check and a Crystal Apple certificate. I would like to ask Laura Bors to come up and help with the presentations. Our 2020 Crystal Apple finalists are Diana Deniston, Elena Bates, and Melissa Hensley. Teachers, you represent the principles and dedication this award is meant to display. We thank you for taking the time to be a part of this year's Crystal Apple process. Each of our Crystal Apple Award winners will receive a $1,000 check courtesy of Commerce Bank, Fry Eye Associates, Hutton, and Wheatland Broadband, an Apple iPad courtesy of Cox Communications, and a Crystal Apple certificate and lapel pin. These 3 teachers have gone through an exhaustive process to earn the distinction of being named a 2020 Crystal Apple teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2020 Crystal Apple Award winners. Our first, Jane Schneider. Jane, congratulations. I would now give you the podium for your acceptance speech.
Can I go get my speech?
You sure can.
I'd like to take this time to thank some people who have made my journey through teaching a much more fun experience, and so it has ended up seeming so much more enriching. God is first. The blessings keep coming, and I'm so grateful for them. The joy I've found working so hard through you has just been incredible. Mitch is second. If it weren't for his support and encouragement, I wouldn't have gotten this far, and it wouldn't have been nearly as fun. I wish I was as good as he thinks I am. My kids, Matt and Tina and Sean and Darby, are so supportive. There's not much that can compare to one of your own children telling you that you're the best teacher in the world and getting thank yous from them along with your other students during National Education Week. My mom has been one of my best supporters since I started school, and she hasn't let up to this day. Thank you so much, Norma. Ryan and Drew and the rest of the principals at Garden City High School just keep the positive comments coming, and their guidance has kept me on the right track. Thank you very much. We are very blessed to have you as administrators. The other teachers in the PE department and the Yellow Academy know just when to tell me to keep going and just when to say something to make me laugh. I'm grateful for all the work that they help me with and all the things that they do for me, and teaching alongside you has just been amazing. How much you care is very, very evident. My friends, Sarah, Laura, and Trina are so supportive. They work so hard with me, and they pray so hard for me. I couldn't ask for more than that. And thank you to the Crystal Apple Committee for even considering me to be part of this wonderful group. The final shout out is to my students, past and present. If it weren't for you, I certainly wouldn't be here. I think you are the best, and I love you very much. I'm a better person because I've spent time with you.
Our next Crystal Apple teacher, Mr. Bijou.
Oh, what a memorable day this. I'm really honored. Thanks for the unlimited efforts by the committee and Chamber of Commerce. Thanks. Thanks for my past students and the current students. They're putting so much energy in me when they walk into my class, even though I'm in a little less energy, but they brings a lot of positive energy in my classroom, and I just try to carry with that. That's what I do. Thanks to all my students, thank you. And thanks for this amazing community. You know, I flew like 15 years ago to Garden City from other part of the globe. And I got such a warm welcome, and I enjoyed it. And 15 years, I didn't even know that it's passed away so fast. So thanks for that community that's supporting me so much, that's caring me so much. Thank you. And the admin group, the district leadership team, there's so much caring and supporting, so that, you know, I have I'm not missing much of my family here. So thank you for that. And I just want to specifically say thanks to my administrators, Mr. Norby, Dr. Carlin, Mr. Meng, and my previous administrator. She put me a lot of confidence in me. She's back in India. Bijoya Bakshi Madam and Navrachana family. I'm thinking of them too right now. And this award means a lot to me. This means more responsibility, more accountability, and more energy. I mean, all right, energy? No, I don't do energy. That's my students bring to me. So yeah, thank you. And finally, I just want to thank my family, my wife Ragi, my kids Jyoti and Bhavya, their support. Thanks from my family from back in India and my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And our third Crystal Apple Award winner, Mr. Yuri Drabinsky.
Good evening. I am humbled and honored to be here. And there's a lot of people, groups to thank. I would like to thank Chamber of Commerce first for this amazing program, USD 457, USD 457 Technology as well for supporting me in all kinds of different, crazy, seemingly sometimes things. Garden City High School and Garden City High School Trade and Health Academy, just amazing teachers to work with. I'd like to thank the Garden City community and my family, both Garden City and abroad. Thank you for helping me and bringing me through this. And I'd also like to thank the amazing teachers that raised the standard for teaching in Southwest Kansas in general. So, and then my wife, Sarah, I have big shoes to fill in following her to receive the Crystal Apple. So a lot of talks about education. And I have a kind of a short speech as well. Being part of the education process gives me a special opportunity to have a positive effect on the life of kids. For me, one of the most challenging and exciting parts of this profession is that every day, every class period brings something new. I'm constantly learning something new about my students, my profession, and myself. I wrote those words for a college paper a decade ago. Bill Gates once said, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. Progress, as I see it, however, is the sum total of small victories and failures. To my students, past and present, never underestimate your ability to fall and pick yourself back up. Your generation will undoubtedly shape the future. I hope in a small way I could be a positive part of that future. A decade is a long time and a blink of an eye. As a lyric in one of my favorite songs goes, you are young and life is long and there is time to kill today, and then one day you find 10 years have got behind you. I do not know what you will accomplish by 2030 or the world that you will inherit, but I certainly know what you're capable of. First, however, you have to start by getting your algebra homework done for tomorrow. Thank you.
Tonight's event shines a spotlight on the very best educators in Finney County. These ladies and gentlemen bring dedication, enthusiasm, and professionalism to our classrooms every day. We hope your evening has been a most memorable one. With just 1 week away from Thanksgiving, we all have a great deal to be thankful for. And in the words of the great philosopher Red Skelton, good night and God bless.